Welcome to the Texas Department of Transportation Houston District's virtual public meeting for the SH35 project, from I-45 to I-610. This is a pre-recorded presentation. My name is Celeste Johnston. I am part of the consultant team working on this project on behalf of the Texas Department of Transportation, also known as TxDOT. I would like to welcome you and thank you for participating in this virtual public meeting. This virtual public meeting presentation is available for viewing starting on May 13, 2021. During the virtual meeting, you may pause the presentation and navigate forward or backward using your video player. This virtual public meeting is being held to describe the proposed project and gather public input. You are encouraged to submit comments after reviewing the meeting materials and listening to this presentation. In this presentation, I will describe the proposed project, provide an overview of the environmental studies being performed, explain the next steps in the project development process, and outline the methods for submitting comments. If you experience technical difficulties with the virtual public meeting, please call 713-802-5076. You may also request special accommodations, assistance accessing public meeting information and materials, and language interpretation needs other than English and Spanish. Please note, discussion with project staff will not be included in the official record of this public meeting. If members of the public wish to submit a comment to be part of the official record of this public meeting, they may do so in the ways outlined near the end of the presentation. Given the unique circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic, along with the Department's commitment to protecting public health during this national emergency, TxDOT is conducting this virtual public meeting to avoid in-person contact. At this time, a virtual public meeting is being conducted in lieu of an in-person public meeting. This presentation covers the same information that the Houston District would have presented at an in-person public meeting. The comment process for the virtual public meeting will be described near the end of this presentation. All meeting materials can be found on TxDOT's project webpage on the SH35 meeting notice page. The webpage for the project is www.txdot.gov. Keyword search SH35/Spur5 from I-45. The public and stakeholders were notified of the virtual public meeting using the following methods. Elected official letters were emailed on Friday, April 23, 2021. Notices were mailed directly to adjacent property owners on Friday, April 23, 2021. The notice for this virtual public meeting was published in the Houston Chronicle on Wednesday, April 28, 2021, and in La Voz, a Spanish newspaper, on Sunday, May 2, 2021. Information was posted to the TxDOT webpage on May 13, 2021. Additional outreach for this virtual public meeting, including mailing the notice to local schools, homeowner associations, and emergency services. Social media posts were made on TxDOT's Twitter and Facebook pages. The SH35 project is receiving federal funds, and because of the federal component, TxDOT is required to assess the potential environmental effects of the proposed project in accordance with federal standards. The process that is followed is called the National Environmental Policy Act process, otherwise known as NEPA. The NEPA process provides analysis of the potential impacts to the natural and man-made environment and helps to inform the decision makers whether or not to proceed with the project. On December 9, 2019, TxDOT received a signed Memorandum of Understanding from the Federal Highway Administration that permits TxDOT to assume responsibility from the Federal Highway Administration for reviewing and approving certain assigned NEPA projects. This review and approval process applies to this project. TxDOT is proposing to extend existing Spur 5 and construct a roadway on new location south of existing Spur 5 as SH35. The project limits extend along SH35 from I-45 to I-610. However, the construction limits would extend to Dixie Drive to bring the road back down to ground level. The new location roadway would tie into the previously constructed Spur 5 travel lanes. The project is approximately 3.4 miles in length and is located in Houston, Harris County. The areas of proposed new location roadway consist of vacant land, wooded areas, residential, and industrial properties. Land use surrounding the proposed project is urban, including residential, commercial, and industrial properties. This slide shows a timeline of the SH35 Spur 5 project. The original environmental document for this project, the Final Environmental Impact Statement, or EIS, for SH35 from I-45 to Belfort, was completed in July 1992. Following the completion of the final EIS, TxDOT began purchasing right-of-way for this project. Right-of-way was acquired by TxDOT in accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisitions Policy Act of 1970. As of April 29, 2008, the majority of the right-of-way from I-45 to Dixie Drive was approved for acquisition in order to construct the proposed project and had been acquired. Environmental and socioeconomic effects to these parcels were evaluated within the final EIS. Since 2008, the project has undergone design changes, and the limits of the project were reduced from I-45 to Belfort Street to I-45 to I-610. The construction limits would extend to Dixie Drive to bring the road back down to ground level. The proposed project and its potential environmental impacts will be evaluated under NEPA as a categorical exclusion, also known as a CE. A CE is an action that has been determined by a federal agency to not individually or cumulatively have a significant effect on the human environment. The roadway design and environmental analysis for this project was initiated in 2020. The proposed project would require the acquisition of approximately 13.5 acres of new right-of-way. This project is currently at the public involvement stage. This virtual public meeting is being held to present the proposed project and to receive your comments on the project. Following the virtual public meeting, TxDOT will continue to refine the schematic and environmental analysis. The project is needed because existing roadways within the SH35 project study area are inadequate to meet current and future traffic volumes, resulting in congestion, reduced mobility, and an inadequate hurricane evacuation route. The purpose of the proposed project is to accommodate regional population growth, reduce traffic congestion within the project area, increase north-south mobility within the region by controlling access and reducing signalization, and to increase hurricane evacuation capacity through the study area. The proposed project would consist of a 4 to 10 lane roadway on new location between I-45 and Dixie Drive, with an interchange at I-610. Each lane would be a 12-foot lane. The number of main lanes transitions from 4 main lanes between Dixie Drive and Glencoe Avenue, to 6 main lanes between Glencoe Avenue and Griggs Road, to 10 main lanes between Griggs Road and Old Spanish Trail, and back to 8 main lanes between Old Spanish Trail and I-45. The SH35 I-610 interchange would consist of an elevated multi-level interchange between SH35 and I-610. SH35 would be elevated over I-610. 4 elevated direct connectors, each consisting of one 14-foot lane, would be constructed to permit entrance and exit to both SH35 and I-610. A direct connector is an elevated ramp that provides a direct connection between 2 roadways. Direct connectors will be constructed from SH35 southbound to I-610 eastbound, SH35 southbound to I-610 westbound, I-610 westbound to SH35 northbound, and I-610 eastbound to SH35 northbound. The project is approximately 3.4 miles in length and would require approximately 13.5 acres of additional right-of-way. The proposed project would be a new location roadway incorporated into the existing Spur 5 segment from I-45 to Old Spanish Trail, which is also known as US 90A. The existing Spur 5 from I-45 to north of University Drive consists of 2 12-foot main lanes in the southbound direction, 2 to 4 12-foot main lanes in the northbound direction, and 2 12-foot frontage roads in each direction. The existing Spur 5 from north of University Drive to Old Spanish Trail consists of 3 12-foot frontage lanes in each direction. The right-of-way within this section varies from 310 feet to 350 feet. From Old Spanish Trail to Dixie Drive, the remainder of the proposed project has not been constructed and consists of new location roadway. The areas of proposed new location roadway consist of vacant land, wooded areas, residential, and industrial properties. Major public infrastructure and utilities are located throughout the SH35 project study area, including roadways, railways, electrical and transmission lines, and petroleum pipelines. Prominent roadways within the project study area include Makawa Road, I-45, and I-610. The HB&T and the BNSF Railway run parallel to the proposed project. The first proposed typical section is from I-45 to south of Old Spanish Trail. The proposed design in this section consists of 8 12-foot lanes, 4 in each direction, with 12-foot inside and 12-foot outside shoulders. The frontage roads in this section consist of 4 12-foot lanes, 2 in each direction. A sidewalk is located adjacent to the southbound frontage road. The project does not include a sidewalk adjacent to the northbound frontage road because the HB&T Railway is located adjacent to the proposed project. Bicycle lanes are not proposed within this portion of the project. However, bicycle lanes are proposed by others along Martin Luther King Drive to Old Spanish Trail and would connect to bicycle paths at Brays Bayou. The next proposed typical section is from south of Old Spanish Trail to north of Griggs Road. The proposed design in this section consists of 10 12-foot lanes, 5 in each direction, with 12-foot inside and 12-foot outside shoulders. A 14-foot northbound entrance ramp would be constructed. This typical section shows SH-35 north of the I-610 interchange. In this segment, SH-35 consists of 6 12-foot elevated main lanes, 3 in each direction. The elevated lanes you see to the left and right of the elevated SH-35 main lanes are the direct connectors that would connect SH-35 to I-610 and connect I-610 to SH-35. The direct connectors would each consist of a 14-foot main travel lane with a 4-foot inside shoulder and a 14-foot outside shoulder. This typical section shows the area from Glencoe Avenue to north of Dixie Drive. SH-35 in this section would consist of 4 12-foot lanes, 2 in each direction, with 12-foot inside and 12-foot outside shoulders. The southbound frontage road in this section would consist of 2 12-foot lanes. A 10-foot wide shared-use path would be constructed adjacent to the southbound frontage roads. Here is a screenshot of the legend for the schematics that you can find on the webpage. These legends are included on each page of the schematics so you can reference it as you review the schematics. The screenshot on the right shows the colors that fill the proposed design. These colors identify the limits and major aspects of the project. Let's walk through them. The yellow color identifies the main travel lanes on SH-35. Their frontage roads are identified in light gray. In between the main lanes and frontage road lanes will be areas of blue, which are the entrance and exit ramps. Lastly, areas in dark pink color identify concrete bridges, and small areas of dark gray are steel bridges. The screenshot on the left shows the various types of lines that you will see. Of particular note are the black lines that outline the main lanes, the blue lines that outline frontage roads and ramps, the thin black dashed lines that indicate existing right-of-way, and lastly, the thick black dashed lines that indicate proposed right-of-way. Here is a detailed look at a portion of the schematic, or design drawing of the project. This slide shows SH-35 from south of I-45 to Brays Bayou. The yellow lines on the plan identify the main lanes, and the blue lines identify the auxiliary lanes. The pink lines identify areas where SH-35 would be elevated over Wheeler Avenue in Brays Bayou. Here is a detailed look at the schematic at the SH-35 I-610 interchange. The travel lanes that you see in orange are direct connectors. Direct connectors would allow vehicles to travel on elevated lanes to connect from SH-35 to I-610 and to connect from I-610 to SH-35. This project includes the construction of 4 direct connectors. The red travel lanes show where SH-35 would be elevated over I-610. The thin blue lines that are shown crossing under SH-35 indicate the location where roadway projects are proposed by others. Here is a detailed look at the schematic from south of I-610 to north of Dixie Drive. The yellow lines on the plan identify the main lanes, and the blue lines identify the northbound and southbound ramps. The light gray lines identify frontage roads, and the thin purple lines identify the shared use path. The ramps shown in blue depict how the main lanes would transition to northbound and southbound ramps connecting to Dixie Drive. The southbound ramp ties into the southbound frontage road, which continues to Dixie Drive. The southbound frontage road would consist of two 12-foot lanes and would be one-way, southbound only. The northbound ramp consists of two 12-foot travel lanes from Dixie Drive and transitions directly into the northbound SH-35 main lanes. Here is a detailed look at a portion of the Mayfair neighborhood located between Wayside Drive and the proposed SH-35 main lanes. Cedar Crest Street, shown in gray, would run parallel to SH-35 and would be reconstructed and rerouted to maintain access to the neighborhood. A cul-de-sac is proposed at the north end of Cedar Crest Street. The cul-de-sac would maintain access between the neighborhood and the VBC Houston Church, but would prevent through traffic between Dixie Drive and I-610. Through traffic between Dixie Drive and I-610 would use Wayside Drive instead. The access to the three residences that you see located between the SH-35 southbound frontage road and the BNSF Railroad would change with the reconstruction of Cedar Crest Street. These residents would use the SH-35 southbound frontage road to enter and exit their properties. This figure is included in the exhibit boards available for download from the virtual public meeting webpage. The proposed project is consistent with the Houston-Galveston Area Council's 2045 Regional Transportation Plan for the 8-county Houston-Galveston region and the 2021-2024 Transportation Improvement Program. The proposed project will be funded with a combination of federal and state funds for a total of approximately $300 million. The project team is in the process of identifying and evaluating potential environmental impacts of the proposed project. Areas being reviewed include community impacts, cultural resources, biological resources including threatened and endangered species, water resources, hazardous materials, and traffic noise. The traffic noise analysis will be conducted in accordance with state and federal guidelines to determine if the project will result in a traffic noise impact. If there is a traffic noise impact, noise barriers would be analyzed to determine if they are reasonable and feasible. If noise barriers are proposed for the project, a noise workshop would be held for property owners adjacent to any proposed noise barriers. The project will be designed to avoid or minimize impacts to the greatest amount practicable. The technical reports documenting the analysis and conclusions of these studies will be available for review on the project webpage once completed. Approximately 13.5 acres of additional right-of-way would be required for the proposed project, and it would potentially include 4 commercial displacements. No residential displacements are anticipated. TxDOT offers relocation counseling and financial assistance to residences and businesses that are displaced by the acquisition of highway right-of-way in accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisitions Policy Act of 1970. TxDOT would provide assistance to potentially displaced businesses and residences. The 4 potential commercial displacements are shown on this figure. Potential displacements would be confirmed during final design. Information about the TxDOT Relocation Assistance Program concerning services and benefits for displaced persons and businesses can be found on the TxDOT website at https://www.txdot.gov/processes-procedures/ROW.html. We want to highlight the estimated project timeline. Look for the pink "We Are Here" arrow at the bottom left of the slide. This virtual public meeting is being held to present the proposed project and gather public and stakeholder input. After the comment period closes, TxDOT will review the comments received and prepare a virtual public meeting summary report. The summary report will be posted to the project webpage approximately 3 months after the close of the comment period. The next steps include refining the schematic and further evaluating environmental impacts. Provided the environmental documents and processes are approved, the project would then move into detailed design and right-of-way acquisition could begin. The proposed project would be constructed in phases. Construction on the initial phase would begin in fall 2022. The first phase would be SH-35 from I-45 to Griggs Road, and the frontage roads from Long Drive to Dixie Drive. The next phase would be the SH-35 main lanes from Griggs Road to Dixie Drive. The final phase would be the 4 direct connectors at the SH-35 I-610 interchange. The project team anticipates that construction would take approximately 3 to 4 years. The project webpage contains all materials presented in this virtual public meeting, including this presentation in both English and Spanish, exhibit boards, a comment card, a project fact sheet, and the schematic. The schematic layout provides a more in-depth look at details in the existing and proposed right-of-way. These files are large and may require more time to download than the other project materials. TxDOT encourages you to review the materials posted on the virtual public meeting webpage and to provide written comments. The comment form is located on the meeting webpage. Comments must be received via email or mailed and postmarked by Friday, May 28, 2021 to be included in the official virtual public meeting summary report. You can submit comments in the following ways: via email to hou-piowebmail@txdot.gov, via mail to the TxDOT Houston District Attention Advanced Project Development Director, P.O. Box 1386, Houston, Texas 77251-1386, online by visiting www.txdot.gov and searching the upper right-hand search box for SH35/Spur5 from I-45. Click on the email link at the bottom of the project page to open the comment form. Again, responses to comments received during the comment period will be included in the virtual public meeting summary report that will be posted on the project webpage approximately 3 months after the close of the comment period. The project webpage is www.txdot.gov, keyword search SH35/Spur5 from I-45. Please do not hesitate to contact us with any questions. Feel free to contact the project engineer at the Houston District Office at 281-841-6888 at any time during the project development process to ask questions. And don't forget to click on these links and follow us on Twitter for ongoing road closures and construction updates on the Houston District Twitter page. You can also keep up with TxDOT News on our Facebook page. Thank you for participating in this virtual public meeting.